Frank Caliendo joining us here. Frank will be performing at the Wilbur Theater in Boston, February 21st. Hopefully they'll be shoveled out from then. And learn more about Frank's upcoming tour dates. Go to frankonstage.com. Always great to see you. How are you?
What happened? We couldn't technically figure that out?
Well,
everybody. I was trying to come back as Jim Rome.
Incredible show so far. Just now it's about to get better.
Okay, let's try it again. Okay, in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to the program. Dan is out meeting the fans, talking to a bunch of perform. The words did not come out the way I wanted them to. You guys got to realize.
In 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to the program. Incredible show so far. It just got better. How great is this? We can do this over and over and over again, and it's like the actual program he does. How great is that? Time for a reset. Welcome back to the program.
In 3, 2, 1. He's Frank Caliendo joining us. This is your home state here, right?
Yeah,
it's a home game.
I'm enjoying it. Yes, it is. I'm enjoying it because Fritz changed when I was coming in about 6 times.
Did you really, Fritz?
The best part is he just says, he's like, so you'll be coming in at this time now. I'm like, wait, I got to check. I have to check. And then John McCain was supposed to be in, and I love that. He had, what was he reading from a prepared statement?
My friends, I would much rather be with you right now, but I'm here. They've asked me to speak with the conglomerate here of American lore. We will be,
you know what, Mr. McCain? I was invited to that too. I turned it down. I wanted to be here at the Dan Patrick Show.
Welcome back to the program.
You got to do the John Gruden impression in front of John Gruden.
Yeah,
last night at the Pro Bowl.
I've done it with him before in the full makeup and stuff like that. Done it a little bit around. He had me come in for a Monday Night Football thing. But I've never been in the booth during a game to do something like that. And you would think of all the entities that I've been around, ESPN would be the least likely to have me in the booth messing around. But the Pro Bowl, I think, was the perfect time because it's they're trying to take it seriously. But one of the first things I said was, I'll tell you what, man, they're putting on an arm tackling clinic here tonight. All this. And I saw players were tweeting about me. They're saying stuff like, oh, finally the Pro Bowl watchable. But my son was enjoying it. He's 10, and he thought it was the greatest. And I liked his idea. He's like, why don't they just, and this is a 10-year-old. And that's a lot of who this game is for, right? And he's like, why don't they just go all out and make it even more fun? Have the offensive guys play defense. Have the defensive guys play offense. You want to see that. You want to see J.J. Watt catch more touchdowns. I thought he had something right on the money there. I was like, that's a good idea. Why not just go all the way for it and just be goofy?
If Gruden was sick, could you fill in on Monday Night Football? If they didn't show you on camera, just you and let's say on radio.
Voice-wise, not knowledge-wise. And here's why. Because I have a general knowledge of football, and I could tell you something about the players. But like you guys just know so much. This is the first time I went to ESPN. I saw the cubicles. I'm like, these guys know more than I could ever know. And
you could fake it. Just throw out.
I could because I was faking it last night. They'd run a play back, and I didn't know who was receiving who Andrew Luck was throwing to, and he had me do Jaws, and I just like tremendous, just throwing it out there. He lined it up and nailed it right down.
You didn't do Chris Berman to Chris Berman, though.
Yeah, I've done it. Well, yeah.
You did?
Oh, yes. Let me just say, it seems like you wouldn't want to say, but, everybody at ESPN, and the mothership, I know what you're talking about. I get, it seems like, he's important over there.
Do you realize that he really doesn't say anything?
Yeah.
It just, and the hands are very important.
I want him to do Morse code.
That's an SOS.
So my whole thing about Berman is he wants everything to be calm. Okay, he doesn't want things to be trouble. Like the whole studio could be on fire, and he'd be like, hey,
I know that you see a guy running behind me, completely engulfed in flames, but everything's gonna be. Trust me. It's gonna be fine. The G-Man. Nobody circles the wagons like the buffalo. Maybe.
It's Deeper Beaker from the Muppets. Welcome to Muppet Labs, where the future is being made today. Welcome our assistant Berman.
Who are you working on now?
There's all kinds. I want to get an Andrew Luck because I think he's going to be a new guy. He's very Maddenish. That's part of the problem. He's just like a young man. It's in the back of his throat. It's kind of like, gosh, it's kind of in there. I can't get it yet, but I tried it. My Super Bowl piece that I did for ESPN's broadcast before. I tried a little Andrew Luck. You'll see it this weekend if it makes it.
Did you do neck beard?
Yeah, I did a lot of neck beard.
Oh, you did?
That, and I've got some new ones. I didn't want it to be because the 30 for 30 thing I did last year went over really well. I didn't want to do another 30 for 30, so I made a mockumentary. So it's another kind of super serious thing. But we shot most of it already. We've got a couple little parts that we're still gonna do, but it's gonna be right in what's in the news. I don't want to give away too much.
Okay.
I think I've said enough already.
Yeah, you have.
I've said enough already.
Judge Fritzy's Sterling Sharp. Tell me what you think.
Shannon.
Oh, Shannon Sharp. Okay, there you go.
I think the Denver Broncos are going to come back next year and win the Super Bowl. They had some struggles. They lost to the Colts. They weren't expected to win. They were expected to win that game. They should not have lost. Peyton Manning will go for it one more year. They got rid of John Fox. Thank goodness. They're going to move on. Gary Kubiak, great backup quarterback for John Elway. The Broncos will win the Super Bowl. Super Bowl 50 goes to Denver, Colorado next year.
That's pretty good. I'd say that's good.
Okay, all right, that's good.
That's probably the best thing he does, even as other producing work. No,
Wow.
That's because I bounced them around 11 times.
I know you do.
No, I'm just messing with you. I really, it doesn't hurt that bad. Here's another thing I've been wondering, because you got lots of great guests coming through, and I've seen in past Super Bowls like Sandler on, and I always love when you pop up in a Sandler movie, because I want to know how that happened. Do they call an agent, or does like Adam call you?
No, Adam calls him.
Hey, how you doing, Danny? We need a part where somebody plays a cop and he's a little bit awkward. You got to be wearing some Daisy Dukes in this. I know you probably wear those around the house. It's not going to be a problem. So you come on out and just be as weird as you can.
Pretty much how it goes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yes, he put us and the Danettes. We got a movie that Pixels coming out next summer. Then there's going to be a Western that he's going to shoot next month.
How did that go? It's like, hey, you're not bringing those weirdos with you again, are you?
No, that's part of the deal.
No, they got to come with me.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes.
He wants that. Yeah. Oh, could you bring the weirdos? Bring the weirdos. Hey, Dan, we're getting a little tired of you playing the awkward doctor. Maybe we could you have your 4 minions come in? You could be like Despicable Me, and then just dress the guys in yellow and see what does Fritzy do? Have Fritzy do some of that Shannon Sharp. Have him do some of that. He does a fantastic Shannon. He's so good.
Can you stay around?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Okay, I just want to make sure you didn't have anything else going on here.
No.
And then maybe when, how about you send us to break? You want to do Jim Rome teasing you on the Dan Patrick Show throwing to break?
Pretty much as awkward as it could get. Let's see if we can go out to break as well as we came in. You're listening to the Dan Patrick Show, hosted by the fake Jim Rome. Coming back after the break, more Frank Caliendo being ridiculous.
Favorite, the stand-up comedians? Like, who inspired you?
Inspiration-wise, I think when I was growing up, Jonathan Winters for the real old school, Robin Williams. I love this changing between the voices. Dana Carvey, who I recently got the opportunity to meet. He was in Phoenix, and I was on stage. He invited me to come up on stage with him, and that was surreal. He had me singing Choppin' Broccoli with all the different... It was awesome doing Gruden. Choppin' Broccoli. That's the best. Choppin' Broccoli. You know that.
Can you imitate comedians who do imitations?
I mean, I try to stay away. I don't want to do an impression that somebody else does. If I do the impression, I try to find a different take. Like everybody... When Will Ferrell was doing Bush, he was doing a college version of George W. Bush, right? He was doing that. I'm George Bush. You know, it was that, you know, we're gonna have a kegger, you know? And for me, I brought it down and I made it, I didn't want it to be that take. So I brought it back and I made it that simple, like a child.
trying to just figure out where we're going with stuff. You get there eventually. Hey, I love that the flies and this.
There is a fly in here. That is a real fly. I brought it in.
Oh, I thought it was like a drone.
Clone.
The clones. Look out for the fly clones. How great is that? Yeah. So
Which Dana Carvey do better? Which one would you say I can't touch that one?
And most of the ones he did, he created a take on them. See, he doesn't try to do things exactly right on the money. I don't try to do that either.
Okay.
Daryl Hammond, I think, is the best guy I've ever heard do spot-on impressions. There's lots of other guys. Another guy named Elon Gold that's incredible at a lot of them. There's just a bunch of people that do. A friend of mine, John Holmberg, he and I just bounce them off of each other, and he does plenty that are better than me. For some reason, I've been able to market this better than everybody else.
Yeah.
So that's always part of it. It's how do you get in? And the sports thing, Kimmel was at Fox, and when he left, before that, he'd brought me in a couple times, and I picked up on that. And then I had this sports niche that brought me in, and I was just broad enough to go outside of sports, and it made me known in a single area more than anywhere else. And I think that's. I've said this, and I know I've heard people say that David Spade has said the same kind of thing. It's you spend the first part of your career getting pigeonholed, and then once you're pigeonholed, you to be famous, and then you get pigeonholed in that spot, and then the rest of your life you fight to be something else.
What are you fighting to be?
Me. It's funny because I find where people, I love a conversation like you. And that's a great thing about you is you'll have a conversation with me and people actually know who I am. They might not be interested in it, but they're waiting for the next voice. But at least they listen to it for a little bit and they get that from this. So that's a cool thing to me.
But I'm interested in the process of how it kind of.
Well, I want to get more original characters, non-impression characters, because they don't die. You can do a non-impression character forever. Wayne's World, that kind of stuff. They live forever because they're like people you know. John Madden, as great as he's been for me and well known, and people still know him kids know him from the video game. They don't even know he's a broadcaster or a coach.
But presidential imitations are immortal, aren't they?
I think they are. But I can't spend a lot. Like at one point, George W. Bush became like 15, 20 minutes in my act. And now it's probably 2 or 3 minutes, and I'll call back to it a couple times because people want to hear it. And if I don't do it, they'll get mad. But, with Madden, what I did was I took Morgan Freeman and did the same thing. I would explain the jokes as John Madden. If you don't get it, you go boom, right? So now what I do with Morgan Freeman is if people don't get the jokes, it's like, that's when the audience realized that Frank Caliendo had no idea what he was talking about. From time to time, he would slip in and out of character, trying to find a joke, and if he couldn't get one, he would just get louder at the end, and people would know when to laugh.
Did you watch Shawshank Redemption over and over and over?
Yeah, I absolutely. That's where it came from, my friend Andy. I knew I missed it. I knew I missed my friend.
What other
Andy.
movie did you watch that just kind of reinforced the tone you were going for?
Lean on Me, because he yells in that movie. What, in the bathroom smoking crack? Come on, Sonny. Now sing the school song. Now sing the school song. Fair East High. Come on. Or is it East Side? I don't remember, man. I didn't even go to that school.
Did you meet Nicholson? Because you
never met Nicholson.
Never met De Niro?
No, I haven't met a lot of people. It's the sports people I've started to meet. And the cool thing is at this Pro Bowl stuff, and this was all set up by Gruden and the Monday Night crew, was to do some stuff with players. J.J. Watt, who came out to a show, and I wanted JJ. I know JJ fairly well, and I know Drew Brees really well. Drew's done some really cool things. Brought me and my son out to watch practice, and okay, he let my son watch tape of game film and stuff like that. But I had some stuff ready for the Pro Bowl last night. J.J. Watt, he's a throwback, man. I love what he does out there. He's like Captain America, frozen in time. Gets a shield from Stark Industries. You ever hear of vibranium? You guys know what that stuff is, man? I'll tell you what, even the nerd group doesn't know what I'm talking about. I went too far for even these guys. How about Odell Beckham? I saw him making some catches during practice. He made a catch with only one thumb, man. Did you ever see a guy make a catch with one thumb? Odell Beckham doesn't even need fingers to catch a ball, Mike.
Do you get hired for parties? How would that
You're
work?
like a clown? I'm a clown. I amuse you.
But let's say I wanted to have a party.
Well, let's say I want to have a kids party. It's John Gruden making balloon animals. Is that what you're looking for? Ah, now I got a dog. All right, man. Don't pop that kid. All right, here is Mushroom Cloud. What do I do? Yeah, I mean, I do a lot of corporate events because I'm clean.
Yeah.
So I do that kind of stuff for companies all over the country. And theater shows, casinos. That's a lot of the event.
But you don't go blue.
You know what? I don't, and I think it's more of a business decision and the fact that I have kids. And I think that's what it is. I get up to the edge a little bit sometimes. And when my kids are older, I may a little bit more because I think dirty comedy is hilarious. I don't have a problem with it at all. And in my normal everyday life, I swear quite a bit. Not around my kids and stuff like that, but I do. I'm normal. So, but people don't see that on TV. And most of the time on TV, they also see me doing impressions constantly, and they think I'm like that all the time. And I'm like, no, I would kill myself.
Who's honest with you when something's not good?
My wife, she hates everything. As long as the check clears, she's good.
But when's the last time she said, no, that's not it?
This morning? I don't know. I mean, my son will tell, my kids will tell me, my daughter is like, that's not close, They'll do that.
Well, for instance, though, the last character where, and I'm being serious here, your wife goes...
I'm trying to.
Be serious with me.
Yeah. I don't know. The sports, my son will say it around sports guys when I'm working on them.
Do you have a Richard Sherman?
No, I don't. I think that would be a good one.
It would be great timing, though, for Habit this week.
Yeah.
Like for the show today.
Yeah. I still have my John McCain. That worked out, didn't it? Welcome back to the program.
Yeah, great.
Hey, thanks for slowing down the interview again, Danny.
Yeah, my bad. I got serious on you.
No,
and you don't do Pete Carroll? You got to do Belichick.
Belichick I've been doing.
All right, let me hear
You
Belichick.
might see some of that in the Super Bowl segment.
Well, give me a little taste here.
That's the kind of thing that you really believe. And so I put the hoodie on. Listen, I'm not a scientist. I don't have a bunch of beakers. I don't make potions. I'm not that kind of.
I like my cousin Vinny reference.
How great was that?
How awesome was that?
I'm not like Mona Lisa Vito out here. She can talk about put together a carburetor and understands the different makes and models. I'm not like that. Yeah, that blew me away when he did the scientist. I mean, like it did with everybody. But then the toughest thing for me is, okay, so I want to do a segment for Super Bowl or whatever. I've got to wait until it airs. It's another week. Every joke about Deflategate is going to have been done by the time I get to that. Yeah. So then you just look like you're hacking off everything everybody else has done already. By the way, I have a couple questions. How come the refs, they're handling the footballs as well?
Yeah.
They didn't seem to notice any difference, but you showed a clip with them throwing a ball to each other and throwing them and placing them. And how cold was it there? It was freezing, right? So your hands, you don't even have as much feeling. And if they're doing scientific tests, tell me, and this is going way out there, this is conspiracy theory, but what's the ball filled with? Anybody think about that? Has anybody tested to see if it's just normal pumped up air? Because if that
You mean like helium?
Well, I don't know, that would be reverse, right? It would be lighter. I don't know about PSI, but it's a good question, isn't it? Don't you think? Apparently not, because the looks I'm getting.
Speaking of bringing this to a crashing halt here.
I'll tell you what, man, this conspiracy theory, bring back the vibranium.
I'm glad you worked that out on my show, so you'll be...
It's not a joke. I'm being serious.
Oh, okay.
I was being totally
serious. It's hard to take you serious.
It's hard. Agreed.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Wow.
Boom. What do you think?
Holy cow. You would be huge in 85.
I killed an 85. I slayed
I'll bring
an 85.
back Ted Knight for you. Spalding, I want you on the golf course in 5 minutes. Chop, chop.
He's Frank Caliendo. For more on his theater dates, you can go to frankonstage.com. How about President Bush to break there, Frank?
Well, it went well for a while, and then Caddy Adondo seemed to crash and burn.
I don't know what Caliendo was trying to do, but it should have been a lot better. He tried to end the show on a high note, and what it did was it ended on a middle note to low note, That was what they call that, baritone. That was a baritone. That's what that was. Dan will be back without Frank, luckily, and his conspiracy theories. After the break, you listen to the Dan Patrick Show. And once again, before we go to break, just give Frank one more plug for frankonstage.com. Going to be all over the country doing his Caliendo act or whatever it is. You guys can cut out anytime you want.
Can you go to break?
I tried to, but Caliendo doesn't know how to do it, knucklehead.
This is the Dan Patrick Show.
Out.